Hey everyone, welcome back. I wanted to say before we start that I'm really grateful for all of the support on the previous video with Liam Otley's funnel hack. So thank you very much for that. And because of all that support, today I've put an absolute ton of effort into this video breaking down James Smith's entire $2 million a month funnel for you. So if you are an agency owner, coach, or consultant that sells services or info products online, there is a lot of value in this video for you. And if you're someone who's in the fitness space, even better, you should really be taking notes because I guarantee that you will have something to immediately take from this video and implement into your business to make more money. And to be crystal clear for everyone watching, this funnel is unique in that it has no paid ads, no cold outreach, and no sales calls. And so because of the effort that's gone into this video, I'd really appreciate it if you guys subscribed, liked, shared with your friends. If I missed anything or if there's a way that I can make this content better for you, then please do leave a comment as well. And before we do get into the full funnel hack, I really just want to ask that you follow me on Instagram. I've got a really small account at the moment, especially if you're in the coaching space and you're looking to learn a bit more about how you can build funnels just like this to really scale your business up. If you are a fitness coach looking to scale to 40 or 50K a month, then please do DM me and I can help you out. Anyway, that's enough self-promo. Let's get into the funnel hack. So we're going to be discussing James's 4 front-end offers. This consists of his fitness coaching, which is kind of his original offer, his events business or James Smith Live, his business mentorship or business coaching, and we're also going to delve a bit into Newtonic, his e-commerce partnership or joint venture with Chris Williamson. And it's also worth mentioning that James does have a line of #1 Sunday Times best-selling books, which I imagine produced a lot of revenue for him, but this isn't something that I know a lot about, so I won't be going into that. And the 3 core principles that this sales funnel is built upon are first, to capture attention, second, to nurture interest, and thirdly, to convert that interest into action and therefore sales. So on the left, I'm going to start with his fitness coaching and then later move on to the business coaching. And I'll also be sprinkling in a bit more information about his events and Newtonic. Considering most of my audience probably run coaching businesses, I'm sure you guys are most interested in how he's scaling the coaching offers. So for his fitness coaching, James has 2 primary accounts that he's receiving most of his traffic from, and that would be 1.8 million on TikTok and the 1.4 million on Instagram. He also does have 1.1 on Facebook and about 60K on X, but these are fundamentally doing the exact same thing, so I won't be going into them. So to start with his TikTok, he focuses primarily on top of funnel content, so content that the masses can really relate to or understand. And the way that he captures leads through this mechanism is with a lead magnet, which in this case is a macro calculator, which is kind of like a calorie calculator. Now, this actually operates as a micro funnel that we call a reverse squeeze funnel. And what that involves is someone taking action initially and then capturing their information through an opt-in after they've actually committed to something. So once someone's actually filled in the macro calculator, they can only receive their results after they fill in this opt-in here with their first name, last name, and email address. Now, what happens when they do fill in that opt-in is they get enrolled into a welcome sequence and then subsequently a sales sequence or several sequences. Now, the purpose of all of this copy as well as all of the email nurturing is to shift the prospect's belief. He's throwing rocks at things like MyFitnessPal and other calorie counters or other solutions in the market to position himself as more authentic, genuine, trustworthy, and build authority with the prospect, which ultimately makes them more likely to be sold. Now, people also enter this funnel from his Instagram. This is his link in bio. That takes them to a newsletter opt-in, which will undoubtedly enroll them in these same sequences and lead to that belief shifting. And the third way that they can actually enter this fitness coaching funnel is from his YouTube. So YouTube organic, the links in the descriptions of his videos lead them to this landing page where if they scroll down, they're presented with the 2 offers, either the starter or premium plan. Now, to calculate his earnings from these, assuming a conservative conversion rate of 1% on the starter plan from his 1.8 million followers, 18,000 sales a month, or $180,000 a month. Then for the premium plan, very conservative estimate of 0.5% conversion rate, that would leave 9,000 sales or around 700K per month. And if you think these numbers sound a bit far-fetched, I'd like to direct your attention to one of James's own videos on his business channel explaining how he made nearly $14 million just from his fitness coaching offer. So interestingly, James treats his Instagram as a bit of a tree in that there are several different branches that people can follow. Now, if you are a fitness coach or a coach in general that is under 6 figures a month, I would highly recommend that you actually stick with one avenue that people can go down. Only after that 6-figure point should you really be thinking about spreading your audience across several different offers for several different ICPs. One of the directions that you can take is this bookings and events direction. And James's events presence is actually pretty major. I've got some tour dates from his US and Canada tour last year. He's also recently been touring with Chris Williamson, which I imagine was even more popular than this one. The average capacity was around 600 people within all of these venues. And as you can see, he did 7 shows. 600 people with an average ticket price of maybe 50 to 60 bucks leaves him with 30k per show, or for the entire tour, 210k. And that is excluding any merch or any product sales like Newtonic. And that was just within 2 weeks. And of course, his Instagram also leads to the official Newtonic page, which has 46.4k followers. Here, James and Chris nurture people with all kinds of personal branding content, belief shifting content, and testimonial content. Then the landing page itself is conversion optimized by having what we call anxiety crushers, so social proof surrounding a CTA, making it much easier for a potential prospect to actually click the big orange button. Then further social proof is shown on screen just to, again, reduce anxiety. If people have even scrolled this far, it means they're not too sure they want to buy. And the classic comparison table, which is super effective at shifting prospect beliefs. You can see how Newtonic is being uniquely positioned as a focus drink that brings all kinds of benefits far beyond energy drinks or coffee. And I highly recommend that anyone watching this that has this kind of commoditized offer do the exact same thing. And based off the public data that I could find about Newtonic, I'd estimate that they're doing around 500k to 1 million a month. These are kind of the 3 tenets of the Newtonic branding, very much backed by social proof, not only the personal brands, but as you can see, all of these other influencers here. Belief shifting, so throwing rocks at other things, and then unique positioning by naming it a focus drink when it is basically an energy drink or an alternative to coffee. By advertising it in this way, it's much more likely that people who are interested in this kind of thing will want to buy it. So now for James's business coaching, or at James Smith Business. Now this content is completely different to the content that we see on his Instagram or TikTok, and that's because it's very what we call middle or bottom of funnel content. What I mean by that, the messaging is hyper specific for an ICP. For example, in this video, he's only targeting PTs, or in this video, he's only targeting small business owners that are thinking of developing a website. He provides very niched value. There are very few people on the internet that are facing these kinds of problems. It also positions him much more as an expert in this field. The fact that he barely edits a lot of these videos, if not no editing at all, this allows him to actually qualify his audience. So only people that are serious about getting real business advice will continue watching. Anyone who's just looking for a quick dopamine hit will very quickly leave the video. And this means that his videos get pushed to his ideal audience or his ideal customers in the algorithm. So even though he's getting lower views, he's getting a higher quality audience. Again, we see prospect belief shifting. For example, here, he's throwing rocks at the idea of building a website and telling them what to do instead. It paints him as an authority and makes them trust him more because he's giving them a helping hand and preventing them from making a mistake. He also, in his videos, introduces unique mechanisms, i.e. his own mechanisms, so that people see him as the only person that can really help them. So there are 3 ways that you can then enter the middle of funnel. Firstly is through some of his lead magnets. This is just an example. This is a straightforward squeeze page, which only allows you to enter your email and then click the CTA. You can't scroll or see any other information. When going through the squeeze page, you will then, of course, be enrolled in welcome sequences and sales sequences to be further nurtured and enter the VSL funnel. Alternatively, people may just click the direct link in his description and end up on this page. The copy on this page is actually not great, and I personally want to include the dream outcome, time delay, emphasize social proof a little bit more. I also do think the CTA is kind of weak because people are on this page for mentorship, not really for courses. And the third way that I'm sure James will reignite at some point in the future is the Webby funnel. If you'd like to pause and read over this, feel free, but this is in some of my other videos on my Instagram where I explain that further. But with James's Webby funnel, this is when he first launched the offer, and I would highly recommend to anyone watching this video now that if you're looking to launch a new offer or new product, then definitely consider the webinar funnel. It's absolutely excellent for pulling back the curtain on something new and establishing a sense of scarcity and urgency immediately. And of course, since the product's already launched, this funnel is no longer active. So to break down James's VSL funnel, here we have a typical structure of an eyebrow headline, a primary headline, and then a sub-headline. Now, the reason that these don't really work that well, in my opinion, is that the eyebrow headline fails to call out his ICP. Primary headline is okay, but it certainly could be talking a bit more about the dream outcomes as well as the discount. And the subheadline doesn't really provide us any more information. It doesn't talk about time delay. There's no kinds of guarantees or bonuses for signing up now. The reason that this funnel still works very well is that it uses a lot of social proof, especially, of course, his own face, has topical urgency, meaning that we know that this Black Friday deal will not be there forever, and therefore people are still feeling a sense of urgency to pay now before they miss out. James has also gone for a low friction 2-minute VSL framework. I imagine the retention rate on this VSL is actually extremely high. And this framework is primarily built around authenticity, which is very much related to James's personal brand. We see this technique also implemented by people like Charlie Morgan, who will outwardly say in the VSL, this is a VSL and this is designed to sell you something. James pretty much takes the same approach here, and it works very well. It's the same way that he's built so much trust in his personal brand on his Instagram and TikTok, so it makes complete sense for him to do it here too. Whilst he is being authentic, he's still using sales tactics to get people over the line. So we've already mentioned the urgency that he's generating. He's also spoken about some of the social proof that he has, and interestingly, he's also introduced alternative realities. So what happens to the prospect if they choose not to invest today? This is of course built in Webflow. Again, this is a trend that you'll always see with people that are actually scaling their businesses to very significant revenue numbers, is that they stop using Go High Level and ClickFunnels templates and they end up hiring real web designers or funnel builders like me to build out all of their web pages for them. Further down the page, he implements value stacking. The idea behind this is that you show someone the sheer quantity of items that they're going to receive. That makes someone feel like they're getting more value for the money that they invest. Or in other words, just a better deal. James also anchors well by putting a higher price above and then the lower price or the discounted price below. If you scroll further beyond this final CTA, you actually get bombarded with social proof. And this works really well as an anxiety crusher, because if you're scrolling past the final CTA, you're probably still a bit on the fence about it. So it makes complete sense for James to show you all of the results that he's got for other people just to get you to take action and buy. Now, assuming a conservative conversion rate of about 1%, especially considering that his audience is very high quality and his personal brand is extremely strong, it's probably higher than 1%. But we're going to go conservative. That would be 130 sales per month normally. Of course, this is the Black Friday offer too, so it's at 50% discount. So there'll probably be even more people paying for it. But on a normal month, that would equate to about 130K a month. On a good month, that would probably be significantly higher. For example, at full price, this number would already be doubled. And then that leads nicely into the financial flywheel, which I have mentioned before. But it's the idea that when people convert, become a customer, they're then going to generate good results because the program is good. That will then be turned into sales assets, so things like case studies and testimonials. That will then be recycled into the top of funnel. You'll see it in any of the content that James then produces on the business account or in areas like here to get people off the fence. And you can see how this becomes a self-perpetuating cycle of results, then advertising, then closing, then results, then advertising, then closing, then results. And over time, this will only get stronger and stronger. This is the same mechanism that James used to scale his fitness coaching business, and it's the same mechanism that he's going to use to scale his business coaching. So guys, that pretty much ties up the full funnel. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please drop a like, subscribe, comment, follow me on Instagram if you need any help, and do leave me any recommendations of any funnels that you want to see next time. Thanks guys.